We're going to get started, and I'm sure more women are going to join us as we go along. So I have an amazing assistant with me here tonight. Her name is Katya, and I am Tamron. I am your host this evening. And I just want to remind you that Katya is going to support all of you women. If you have any questions in the chat, she's going to be reading, she's going to be following along. And if you have any questions, please feel free to post them in there. There's going to be lots of time tonight to ask any questions that you might have. And there'll be breaks that we will set up so that you can do so. So there's plenty of time. This is super fun and educational, and you will walk away with a nugget, guaranteed. And with that in mind, I'm going to get started. So again, let me see here. I am using some new technology, and I would like to make sure that everything is working. Okay, where else do we have people? From LA, California. Hello. Awesome. It's probably a little bit warmer where you are. Okay, I'm clicking the buttons here. Hold on a second. Let me just change this. Can I do that? Make sure I'm on the screen. There we go. Now I've got it right. Okay. So again, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us in here. And I want to encourage everybody tonight to stop multitasking and just give yourself permission to bring your energy into tonight's masterclass with 100% of focus. And if you can join us with your camera on, it would be great to see your beautiful face. I see. Hi. Is it Kelly? Kelly's on.
Yes,
screen.
Kelly.
Awesome. Thanks, Kelly.
You're welcome.
So this is going to be a fun interactive night. So again, if you're just hopping on, my name is Tamron, and I'm a women's wellness astrologer, and I'm your host tonight. So again, thank you for carving out your precious time to be here with me and to connect with all of the amazing women that are here tonight. And now that I am much wiser in this stage of life, I really do honor time, and everything just seems to happen so fast. And this really is a powerful point in our lives where women can become healthier and authentically happier. Health is wealth. Anyone else agree with this statement? Yeah, we got some people who agree. Absolutely. Yeah. So again, welcome tonight. It really is possible to learn how to use an astrological birth chart to help you begin creating a personalized wellness action plan to restore a balanced mind, body, and spirit using this ancient wisdom. And by the end of our time together tonight, you will walk away with at least one powerful action step to get you started so that you can begin feeling better today. Remember to stay until the end of this masterclass to receive the bonus gift that I have for you. I am on a mission to supporting more women so that they have choices in front of them. Let's step into our power together now during the age of Aquarius, where I believe astrology and holistic health is the future to becoming everyday tools in the mainstream for our overall health and emotional well-being. And now it's your time to embrace this ancient wisdom. So just a little bit of basic housekeeping tonight, ladies. Just to remind you that this is a safe place to share anything that's coming up for you. So what happens in the online room stays in the room. Does everybody agree? Yeah, I see some nods. Perfect. And you will receive a recording in a follow-up email within the next 48 hours. And there will be times, like I said earlier, when I will pause from teaching about the 3 steps so that you can ask questions. So please hold on during the presentation and we will make some time for you. My assistant, Katya, tonight can also keep an eye out in the chat for those questions. So ladies, pop a yes in the chat or raise your hand if you are wanting to know the 3 secret astrological steps to reclaim your spark and vitality based on the ancient wisdom of astrology. Yes, here we go. Raise your hand if any of you ladies are lacking motivation lately, right? Feeling super sluggish. That happens. Or what about if anybody is struggling with a recent challenging event in their life? Raise your hand. Yes, I'm seeing the big Well, you know what? That means that we are all in the right place tonight. And I bet the stars are aligned to gather all of us here right now. Who agrees? Right? I believe in destiny. Absolutely. So who's willing to participate full on for the next hour so that all of you can walk away feeling more empowered? Before we get rolling into the training, I would love to share a personal story with all of you in case you don't know me already. Today, I am so grateful that I have my own personalized wellness kit curated by my unique astrological birth chart so that I keep this with me at all times, even when I'm traveling, so that I can remain emotionally grounded, calm, and be able to trust my inner guidance to make important decisions during challenging times. At 61, I sleep well most nights, and I wake up feeling refreshed, physically invigorated, and really excited about the day ahead. I often receive compliments from people who don't even know me that I don't look or even act my age. And I feel honored every single time this happens. But it wasn't always this way. If you would have told me 25 years ago that I'd become a leader in the women's wellness industry using astrology as a framework for emotional healing and vitality, I would have thought you were crazy. Though now I understand what real leadership means. It's not about perfection. It's about rising again and again after life knocks you down. And my birth chart confirmed it. I was destined to face some really tough lessons. And it was my job to choose how I'd respond, how I'd manage my emotions, recover, and rebuild my life. And I've also faced some serious health setbacks too. Yet, here I am, ladies, still rising. Because leadership means living your truth and showing your scars and leading by example. And back in my early 40s, I was recently divorced and still grieving the recent death of my father while raising 2 young boys on my own. And from the outside, I looked strong, but inside, I was secretly battling a deep depression and even suicidal thoughts. Physically, my body was falling apart and screaming for help. And I suffered from digestive issues, relentless sinus infections, and many unsettled and sleepless nights. And that even led to surgery, but it didn't help at all. I remember sitting in my doctor's office with my swollen face, feeling exhausted and emotionally numb. She looked at me and said, "I flagged all of the prescribed medications in your file, and you've reacted badly to all of them. If you ever get seriously sick, we'll have no options for you." I mean, I left her office in shock, feeling really scared and in tears. I felt like I had been literally punched in the face multiple times. I felt so lost. And an hour later, 1 hour later, I was standing in the school foyer to pick up my boys with my swollen face when a fellow mom approached me and I shared what had just happened. She was a newly certified holistic health practitioner and gently asked me if I'd be open to trying something different. You know, I was so desperate. I said, yeah. Little did I know that I had just opened a door that would lead me down a completely new path, a path to where I am standing here with all of you ladies tonight. The next day, I had my first holistic treatments with her. For the first time in months, I could breathe. That night, I slept soundly, and by the morning, the pain and the intense pressure inside my head had lifted. I felt a sense of hope, and I couldn't believe it. I needed to know how and why this worked. The holistic solutions I just experienced weren't taught by my doctor or in any school that I attended. So I began to search. And then one day during my quest, I picked up a skinny little health magazine and I found a tiny little listing on the bottom of a page for holistic schools in the nearest cities. I felt like I had won the lottery. Over the next 25 years, I studied with powerful teachers and I devoured stacks of books. But the one course that provided real solutions to help me understand my health and wellness was studying astrology. And when I became a certified astrologer, I started with my own birth chart. And after revisiting the dates when everything seemed to fall apart during a challenging time in my past, I began to notice patterns of this was exactly when my health took a hit. What I uncovered was powerful, and each breakdown was actually a breakthrough, guiding me to keep using holistic solutions to keep me emotionally strong and healthy. There were no more trips to my doctor. There were no more trips to the local pharmacy. I relied on my own notes and I knew what solutions to use. Studying astrology helped me make sense of my life. And it gave me a new lens, a higher perspective to see not just what was happening, but what actions to take. And this is when the magic happened for me. And using my notes, I started a wellness template that lists out the specific tools to stay grounded, clear, and resilient. Notes that I could return to anytime. No more guessing, that would always guide me to recover when I fell down. And now, when life throws another curveball, because we know it always does, I have the answers. And I created a system that works, and it's rooted in the wisdom of the stars. So, ladies, wouldn't you love to have that kind of clarity and confidence and knowledge too? I mean, who wouldn't, right? So imagine what's possible now that more women are waking up open to using astrology as a tool to understand their lives from a deeper, more spiritual perspective that can also support your health. Because it's not just about your astrological sun sign. It's about using this ancient wisdom to create a personalized wellness template to guide you according to your unique birth chart through your life's inevitable ups and downs. Because let's be honest, we all have them. Life isn't here to break you, it's here to awaken you. And yeah, it can feel heavy at times, but in those moments that your real transformation can begin. And your birth chart is your personalized wellness framework showing when challenges may arise and the exact template and tools you need to stay grounded, clear, and empowered so that you experience the joy, the radiant health, and a new definition of true wealth. And I would love to show you how. So ladies, I'm taking my sip of water because it is getting warm in this house. And also, every time I share what I'm so passionate about, I get so excited. I literally start sweating. It's so funny. I don't know if it's a postmenopausal thing, but it gets me going. So if you are ready to learn how the ancient wisdom of astrology can support you, let me know, ladies. Show a hand. Here we get going. Yes. Okay. We're flying. All right. Flying, not flying. So I want to ask you, did you know that on the day and the time and the place you were born, when you took your first breath here on the planet Earth, it created a picture in the astrological sky? And this is unique to you. So it's like a snapshot, boom, like taking an actual picture of all the planets, showing exactly where they are. And this is called your astrological birth chart. And it is also a wellness template created just for you. And today I'm sharing this secret information about astrology and the hidden link to our overall well-being using what we call the 4 elements that are represented in an astrological birth chart. So I am going to share my screen and explain to you what we are going to be covering tonight so that you have an idea of what I'm talking about. Because you do need to be an astrologer to be in this class tonight. So give me a thumbs up. Can everybody see the screen? Yeah, the picture. Okay, so I created this image for all of you. And basically what is showing you is what I'm talking about, the four elements that I'm going to be making reference to tonight during this call. So on the left of the screen, we see the fire, we see earth, we see the cloud is represented air and water. Those are the 4 elements. Now, in the astrological sky, this is the example of the circle in the middle. It is divided up into 12 equal parts. Each one of those parts is an astrological sign. So that means Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, right? Everybody's sun sign. So the sky is divided. If you look up from the earth, the sky, there's like a big circle surrounding us. And each one of those pieces is one of those sun signs. So on the day you were, oh, no, I don't want to go that far yet. So with these sun signs, there's 12 of them. And there's 4 elements, which means each element is going to be represented 3 times by each one of those signs. Okay, so there's 3 parts of the sky that are considered fire elements. There's 3 parts that are earth, 3 parts that are air, and 3 parts that are water, totaling 4. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. Where you were, when the day you were born, wherever the sun was, that's your sun sign. So if it was today, the sun is in Libra. Okay. We are now in Libra season. We are in the fall equinox. And wherever the moon was, the moon travels around the earth every 28 days. We learn this in public school, or we did in Canada here. Takes 28 days for the moon to go around. The moon is the fastest moving planet that goes around the earth. And every 2.5 days, the moon goes into a new sign and goes around and multiplied by 12 signs. So that equals 28 days. Okay. So everybody got that? Okay. 4 elements. Okay. So now I'm going to stop sharing this image. And I'm going to share you one more image. Starting to cool down a little bit in here, which is good. No, gave me the same image. So this to me the other day too. So I'm going to fix that. So let me take this off. And then here we go. The next image. Perfect. Do you see a different image on the screen now, ladies? Okay, awesome. So what I did is I went to an astrology website and I said, what is this guy looking like tonight on Monday, September the 22nd at 7 p.m.? So at 7 o'clock, when this class officially started, this is the picture of the astrological sky. Just for the purposes of this, because to most people, when you see this, if you are not an astrologer, it's just like a bunch of squiggly lines and symbols, right? But if you were a person, the image in the middle of the X represents a human taking their first breath. So if you go to the left, this is where the eastern horizon is right now. And is there any planets in the eastern horizon? Well, you go down here, this planet is Saturn. He's in Pisces because right now Pisces is in the eastern horizon. And then we've got the western horizon, the north and the south. But for just explaining to you the basics of astrology is if you go down to the bottom on the right a little bit, you're going to see a little chart down here. And on the left, these are the 4 elements: fire, earth, air, and water. There's 10 planets that are in this chart, but there's some additional images on here. It doesn't apply to us, but what this means, if you look, you see there's some planets represented that are in fire tonight. There's only one planet, Venus, is in an earth sign, and there's a bunch of planets in an air sign, and there's a lot of planets in water sign. For me, as a wellness astrologer, this is giving me indications for a lot of information. If this person was born and this was their chart, this is already telling me a lot of information about their template that we're going to talk about the 4 elements tonight. Okay, does that make sense? So using your chart tells me what to tell my clients. And tonight, if this person was born, the predominant planets are the sun. The sun just went into Libra, and right beside the sun, because we just had a new moon yesterday, look, the moon's already crossed over the sun. So the moon is there. The moon is also still in Libra, but there's also another planet there, and Mercury. So we've got the sun, Mercury, and the moon. And for wellness, that's an indication of something very specific, but we won't go into that right now. Okay, is everybody following? Now you know what an astrology chart looks like, so you all have this. Heidi, do you have a question? Or Kelly, is it Kelly? Take your audio off. Oh, you're good? Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing and we are going to get started. So for step number 1, raise your hand, or even, let me see here. I'm going to see if I can do something else. Hold on a second here. Can I shrink this? I don't know why. Maybe because we were doing that. Sorry, technology is being funny again. Just a second here. I want to change my view so that I can see all of you too. Hold on. Speaker. Sorry, just a little bit of a glitch. We'll see if this stops it. Maybe that's why. too many tabs open. Sometime, there we go. That was the culprit. Okay. So for step number 1, ladies, raise your hand or type a yes in the chat if you were experiencing some current challenge in your life, right? And you might even be feeling, like you might even be trying to deal with one or more physical or even an emotional issue. And then we get confused, right? Because it can be frustrating, and even to just figure out how to deal with what's happening. And the truth is, we can't solve all of our challenges all at once, but we do have the power to start with just one step today so that you can start feeling better. Okay, who agrees? Because that's what you signed up for, right? Yes. So each of the 4 elements that I showed you represents a specific area regarding emotional health and physical vitality in astrology. So is there anybody here tonight who's willing to just offer a personal share to describe what's currently happening? You don't have to go into great detail. Yeah, Kelly, throw your hand up. Please take yourself off. What's going on, Kelly?
Um, just on August 8th, I went in the hospital for one thing. Well, actually, the emergency ward, because I was in the hospital the week before. Anyways, they wanted to do surgery that week before, and then he said I was going to put you on antibiotics. Fast forward, I went in the emergency ward. They put me into emergency surgery to fix perforated diverticulum of the um, intestines.
Yeah.
There was 2 pockets. Well, there was 1 pocket the week before. Now there's 2. They both had burst. So I was septic. When the surgeon went in, he went in 3 different spots, found out that my colon was fused to my um, intestines in 2 different spots and my ovary. So then he had to give me a C-section to fix all that. I died on the table twice, and now I have an ostomy bag.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a lot. Oh, wait,
pretty
we're gonna,
heavy.
everybody, just we're gonna take a minute here. Thank you for the bravery, Kelly. And just everybody, we're gonna send you some love, Kelly. That's a lot.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. It was very confusing when I came to, too, because
Yeah.
so much had happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, take a deep breath here. Because if it's okay with you, Kelly, I'm gonna just ask you a couple of quick questions because I want everybody
Okay,
to pay attention as to this little exercise we're all gonna go through. Okay.
okay.
So, Kelly, how I'm gonna just ask general stuff. We're gonna start tapping into the elements here. How often, we're going to talk about fire, how often do you exercise for at least 20 minutes at a time?
Probably every day just walking.
Okay, that's good. How often do you cook from scratch?
Not very often anymore now that it's just me.
Okay, that's all right. How often do you meditate or spend quiet time by yourself?
I have a lot of quiet time by myself, but meditating, not so much anymore.
Okay, that's okay.
It's hard for me to meditate. So
Okay. These are all little things. This is good. How much water do you drink on a daily basis? Like how many actual 1 cups a day?
not enough. Probably 3.
Okay, there we go. So I'm just making a note here because when I work with my clients, this is where we start. We start with what your lifestyle really is. Okay. You need that
Okay,
beginning point. So what I want to share with everybody, and thank you, Kelly. We're gonna keep
you're
going
welcome.
here, but thank you for your bravery and the share. And again, we're sending you some healing love. Okay. So you can heal from what you've gone through. But I want to remind everybody that many years ago, I used to have a brick and mortar business, and I had a radio show because I was learning so much, as I shared with you guys earlier, but still, it was about educating more people because I didn't learn any of this in school or from my doctor. And so I would interview a lot of these teachers and authors and people I was reading information from on my radio show. But the one big show that really stuck with me was a fellow that I interviewed, and we talked about water. And he gave me this great example. So I'm going to share it with all of you here tonight. And what he said to me, that 1 cup of coffee needs about 8 cups of water to rebalance the water levels in your bloodstream. So I'm going to use an example here. 1 cup of coffee, this coffee cup that I have actually is almost pretty much a 1 cup measure. So 4 of these is a liter. And we have to drink 2 of these just to keep our bloodstream balanced from 1 cup of coffee. So think about how much coffee you drink, because for most people, it's a 2-cupper, right? Or some people drink coffee all day long. And what's happening is, you're getting dehydrated, right? So water is so important that we understand that we need to be hydrated. And we just want to remind everybody here tonight that anything we're talking about is a healing process that your body's going to go through. And healing takes time. And asking for help and being here tonight is a courageous step. But ultimately, your health is your responsibility, and no one can do it for you. And right now, we are experiencing the fall of so many patriarchal systems in our society, especially in healthcare and education. And as a certified astrologer, this is currently reflected in the astrological sky. Okay. So, in my personal opinion, what that means is we have the power to take these matters into our own hands and be personally responsible now that we're in the era of the age of Aquarius. So this is just step number 1, which is understanding that everything to do with astrology, when uncovering information, is always represented by the basic division of those 4 elements that I shared with you in the images. Okay? Fire, earth, air, and water. Does anybody have any questions so far about what those 4 elements mean? No, we're good? Awesome. Okay. So now we're going to really get into this. So for step 2, I want to ask, how many of you are ready to have a 1-degree shift right now to help you experience just a little bit of wee magic that you signed up for, right? Raise your hand. Yes. Okay. So if you're willing to take a few minutes for yourself without any distractions, I'm going to encourage you to join together. We're going to have a little experience with a short visualization together. And if you're willing to just close your eyes, we're going to begin. And I'm going to ask everyone to just take 3 deep breaths together. So take a nice deep breath by breathing in and then breathing out again. And visualize yourself connecting with everybody's energy in here tonight too. We're all in this together. And then take your next breath in and breathe out. And another breath in finally, and breathe out. And I want you to keep your eyes closed. And imagine that you are outside of your physical body and you're looking down on you. And choose to see yourself in your favorite place that always makes you feel happy when you're there. And pretend you are an angel or a spirit guide or even a loved one who has passed over and is lovingly watching over you. And take another deep breath in now. You have the magic power to energetically send an instant message so that you hear what you honestly need to start doing today. And without thinking, I want you to choose one of the 4 following elements: fire, earth, air, or water. And which of those 4 elements is resonating with you today or calling you? Trust your gut and repeat the element in your mind. Now place your hands on your heart and thank your higher self for sending you this message. And then just take another deep breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Okay, thank you for participating. I see some eyes are opening. Okay. So if you ladies want to take yourself off of mute, or Katya, maybe if you can check in the chat, you guys are willing to share which element is calling you right now. Did anybody get fire?
Originally, I had gotten fire, and then after I closed my eyes and thought about it for a little bit, water came to mind. Almost like I need a little water to calm this fire down.
I hear you. Thank you for sharing. Anybody get earth? No, no earth tonight? Oh, we got an earth. Someone's giving us a heart. Okay, we got some earth. Anybody with air? Air. No? Okay. Katya, how are we doing in the chart? Anybody? What about water? We got someone who said water. We got water.
Amber said water.
Okay.
Soraya.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, thank you, ladies. Now, the truth is, right, you already know what you need to do so that you start feeling better. It's just that life gets in the way and we all slip up, and then we don't make the time to start looking after ourselves. And even managing our feelings requires creating a system to let us check in with our bodies. And I believe the best way is to just focus on one action step based on the element that spoke to you today. Because when we're feeling down and out, it's most likely that at least one of those four elements is out of balance. And for some people, it can be 2 or 3 elements that need to be taken into consideration. So I'm going to encourage you to always trust your intuition. Do you remember that part in my story where I shared I felt so lost and scared because I didn't know what to do sitting there in my doctor's office, right? Like, can you relate to how lost I was feeling? Yeah. So that was overwhelming and pretty scary. And I want you to understand that if you feel this way, there is nothing wrong with you. But when you can admit that you don't know, I guarantee there is someone who's ready to step into your life who does know how to support you. Help is always available. And I believe there is no accident that you're on this masterclass with me right now, because I'm here for you so that you can get the support you need to implement changes into your life. And when I showed up at that woman's house, I was making changes to my earth element. And I started with the earth element because my physical body was so toxic, and no one ever taught me about natural supplements or how to use herbs to support my emotional well-being, because we don't learn this in school. And how important do you think this is to need to know, right? Absolutely. Okay. We need this information. So to recap, this step number 2 is to just claim one specific element that you intuitively know you can begin making changes, and just stay focused on the one and just create that intention. Okay. That's your shift. Just say, I'm doing something, right? Does anybody have any questions at this point? No? Pretty good. Okay. So for the final step 3, this is going to be your self-guided action step. So we got a few people here. I'm going to pause for just a second. I'm going to take another sip of water. So we're going to go through these 4 elements. And I'm going to share some information with all of you guys. So if you got fire, if your intuition picked up on fire, I'm going to encourage you to move your physical body for at least 20 minutes a day, doing something that you love to do. So this is different from just exercising. It's not about joining a gym membership and trying to get out there each and every single day. And the reason why is because if it stresses you out, then you're defeating the purpose. Stress raises your cortisol and it creates a hormonal imbalance. And we want you to succeed. So this has to be an easy choice. And I want you to think about something that excites you. And for some women, it could be dancing, dancing around the house when nobody's watching. It could be singing, like something that gets you excited. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's not just about exercise, all right? Because fire is about passion too. It's about excitement. Like earlier, you see how hot I got and excited I got when I started talking? Like I get super excited, right? And so I feel it in my physical body. And I've always been this way, but I didn't even understand it when I was younger, okay? So when I'm super excited, my heart gets pounding, like my face gets red all the time. If you chose Earth, what I'm going to encourage you to do is to prepare one small meal every day that is not using any processed or store-bought items. Preferably just using a couple of organic ingredients, if it's possible, so it doesn't break your bank account. And it doesn't have to be fancy. That's how I started. It could be as simple as just going to your local grocery store and buying a couple of pieces of just organic fruit. And if you don't do fruit, then I'm going to encourage you to purchase organic tea. Okay. When it's organic, tea has minerals in it, and minerals get into your bloodstream. Okay. So it's like a natural supplement. Okay. So tea is actually very powerful. I'm not talking about black teas, although a lot of black teas now are also flavored, but a lot of herbal teas, there are so many flavors out there right now, are really good for the body. And it only costs maybe an extra $1 a box to buy organic. Okay. And a lot of that now is even in your grocery stores. Even sometimes I see them in the local variety stores down here. And for air, if you got air, I'm going to encourage you to sit quietly with yourself for at least 20 minutes a day, preferably outdoors or somewhere where no one's going to distract you. And if this means you have to get up early or go to bed after everybody else, I'm going to encourage you to do so and spend some time with yourself, because your intuition is your greatest relationship. Just like what we did tonight in the little experience, okay? And when if you're feeling down, you may want to be alone, but I don't want you to stay there for a long time. Like I don't want you to give yourself permission to what my best friend calls a pity party. We don't want to do that. But being alone and sitting quiet is a great way to enhance your intuitive abilities. It's a great way to start so that you can connect with what you are honestly feeling in your heart. And there's a specific time each month when your feelings may bubble up and feel really strong, which simply means if something's coming up, your body is asking, pay attention. Because when you can connect with these specific emotions, that helps to determine for someone to help you which natural remedies can be used to help you rebalance into a more positive state. Okay, so there are natural solutions. So if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling unmotivated, these are all emotions that can be shifted into something positive. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So you got to learn how to call it out. And I don't know, does anybody in the room kind of have a feeling of when their emotions might be super, super strong each month? Someone, are you trying to talk, Katya? What is it?
I'm trying to talk very, very quietly.
That's okay.
Uh, there is one moon probably getting us on our nerves or something.
Full moon. You got it. It is no joke. When the sun reflects off the moon, the full moon is when the sun and the moon are in exact opposite positions in the sky. So Katya was right. Your intuition was right. So when the sun shines on the moon, right, that's fire. It's shining on the moon and it agitates the moon. And the moon in astrology represents our subconscious, and that represents our feelings. So things are bubbling up. So the full moon is a time when we connect with whatever it is we're feeling and we ask our body to release it. Okay. The new moon, like what we had yesterday, is when the sun and the moon come together in the sky. So the sun and the moon are in Libra. This is a very introspective time. It's a time of new beginnings. It's about thinking forward and saying, what do I want to call into my life? Okay. And that happens every 28 days. There's a full moon and there's a new moon. So they have a different energy. Does that make sense? So if you're noticing you're really sensitive, and I'll tell you something you can do to learn that, you can say, okay, there's something coming up that needs to be released. So finally, if you chose water, I'm going to encourage you to, and I'm guilty of this, to reduce the amount of caffeine and alcohol so you can raise the amount of water that your body needs on a daily basis. Because like I said, even that fella, most people are dehydrated. And did you know that even dehydration doesn't affect your body? It also impacts your mood and your emotional resilience too. So if you're going through a challenging time, you need water, because even when we're slightly dehydrated, it can lead to fatigue, brain fog, irritability, and an increased risk of anxiety and depression. And according to a 2018 study published in World Journal of Psychiatry, dehydration was significantly associated with higher levels of depression in adults, especially women. And why does this matter? Because emotional health isn't just about our mindset and what we're feeling. It's about your entire body. It's emotional, it's physical, it's spiritual. And if we truly want to feel better during a challenging time in our lives, we have to treat our bodies with so much care. Who remembers in my story when I talked about how I started studying those holistic modalities, right? All the different ones. Over time, I was implementing what I had learned and doing it, taking action and putting that into my lifestyle. So I want to just say again, I am not telling everyone I'm perfect and that I always take care of myself, because I slip up all the time. But when I'm going through a really challenging time, I know I have to implement these specific action steps based on those 4 elements that give me the power to bounce back really quick. And I have my own specific template, and it's based on my astrological birth chart. And I carry these holistic items with me everywhere I go so that I am never without. Okay. So raise your hand. Do you want the same results? Yeah. And is anybody declaring they're going to start taking action? Right? We got to take action. Yeah. We have to be responsible. Anybody going to call out or post in the chat? What are you going to do? Just one thing. You're going to be like, I'm going to take action right here. What's it going to be? Anyone? Kelly, what are you going to do?
I'm going to drink more water.
Woohoo! Amber, what are you going to do? Have you decided? We can't hear you.
Drink more water.
Woohoo! Water. Missy. Is Missy going to share? Anybody else going to share? Katya, what are you going to do?
There is a question. Actually, I'm going to drink water, like other people too. There is a question about Earth.
Okay, tell me.
One thing I think that they're going to give you answer when you answer in your question. So what about Earth? If people choosing Earth, what do you need to do?
Oh, for people choosing Earth, then that's why I'm going to encourage you to start implementing organic ingredients into your diet. Okay. So that's what I was saying. Just start small because organic can seem expensive for some people. And I've gone through challenging times too. It's not like I have tons of money and I can always afford organic. But the reason why I recommend fruit is because most fruit have very thin skin. And so a lot of the pesticides and herbicides seep through the skin. And so it gets directly into the fruit. But I suggested bananas because bananas are the most affordable, right? The organic bananas are usually beside the other bananas. So to spend 80 cents or $1, you can start there with a bunch of bananas or start with the organic tea and start drinking organic tea. Not only will it help to put herbs, the minerals from the herbs that are in the herbal tea into your bloodstream, it also helps to drink more water because a lot of people always say, I don't like the taste of water. So that's another kind of a double combination there is to just start drinking more herbal teas. And I always recommend too, if you're drinking herbal tea, I don't recommend sugar, but I do recommend that you add a dash of raw honey because not only will it make the tea taste better, but it'll give your immune system a great big boost because the less refined honey is, it's good for so many things. It's a natural antibiotic, it's an antiseptic, like it's just so good for you. And raw honey is hard. Like it's not the Billy Bee honey, or I don't know if you guys are American, but if it's in a bottle and you can squeeze it out, not good. So read your labels with honey. It goes a long way. I know some people that just for their immune system, like eat honey every day. So I have that in my tea. So it's a natural sugar. It breaks down in the body differently than a white sugar. So when I started studying nutrition, one of the first things I learned, my first nutrition class was I took out pop because I didn't even know how harmful pop actually was. So my kids, I said, guys, not that I bought a lot of pop, but we had a lot of gatherings every weekend. And so I always bought pop. So when I learned that there was no more pop, I took out refined sugars and I switched to natural sugars. So there's natural sugars in fruit, natural sugars in honey, and also I'm Canadian, so maple syrup. And maple syrup, they've done tests on maple syrup now. There's a lot of minerals in maple syrup because it's dark. Like the syrup comes from deep in the ground, like the roots of the tree, like suck it up because syrup goes up, right? When they tap it. So the darker the maple syrup, the better it is for you. So you can start with some really simple steps. Does that answer people's questions? Yeah, I'm just encouraging you to start small. So there's little things. So when I work with my clients, we start implementing some of these little simple action steps as well. And it's the process of, okay, now I've got this in my diet and then how to move on. So that was a great question. Because this is where we're going to stop and actually ask questions. Does anybody else have any questions about anything so far? No, we're good? Okay.
The question about air. Can you clarify one more time about air?
Air. Okay. So air is like we did in the exercise. It's not just about meditating and closing your eyes and doing nothing. It's about connecting with what I call your higher self. Now, other people have other words for it. Spirit, some people call it God. It's just creating a habit of sitting by yourself, not focusing on all your problems or your challenges, but just sitting and asking yourself questions or even asking yourself how you're feeling. But it's creating the daily habit of doing that because Your intuition is a relationship. It's understanding that what you're hearing, you're not just hearing voices, you're actually connecting to yourself. Does that make sense for the person with air? It's just the habit of quiet and be still. When you get more, when you get better at doing this, you don't necessarily have to sit and be quiet. You can tap into that part of yourself and start trusting your intuition. Okay, and just trusting. Oh, we have another participant. Yay! I'm a dog lover. Okay, I'm dog sitting these days. Okay, this is great. Any other questions? Are we good? Okay, this is awesome, ladies. And you can even ask more questions at the end. So, who wants some additional support from me? That will help you even understand something else that you can do, right? Yeah, on a weekly basis that is aligned with the astrological sky so that you can start learning some simple action steps. Because I really want you ladies to like start learning some of this stuff. Did you know that specific astrological events that happen on a weekly basis can also trigger specific emotions that many people are feeling all at the same time on a global scale? Like, for example, this week, yesterday, we just had the partial solar eclipse in Libra, pardon me, today it's in Libra. Yesterday, the sun was in Virgo. So the sun, just before it went into Libra, was sitting in the last part of the sign of Virgo, okay? So the sun and the moon were in Virgo. Now, Virgo represents something very specific. And like I said, these planets are in the sky, so everybody is feeling it. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter who you are. You're human. You are feeling the effects of the planets. It's that saying, as above, so below. So with this eclipse, a lot of people feel super emotional and super sensitive and really tired, because we had the lunar eclipse 2 weeks ago, and yesterday we had the solar eclipse. So this is what we call eclipse season. So it's 2 weeks of like, whoa, right? Just intense, because the planets are shifting. And so when the planets are shifting, it represents that an area of your life is ready to shift. Does that make sense? So a lot of people are feeling the intensity, and usually on an eclipse, I guarantee you feel whack and really tired. Anybody been super tired lately? Like, I mean, for the past couple of weeks, it's no joke. And there's nothing wrong with you, okay? So you don't need to be an astrologer or to become an astrologer to understand this, because I have already done the research for you, because that's what I love to do. So every week, I recommend some very specific natural solutions to help everyone feel calmer, more grounded, and to even get a good night's sleep. And when we manage our emotions, we can stay more balanced. And if we know which natural solution or holistic remedy to use, it's more beneficial. Does this make sense? Right? Like, I am already going to figure it out. So when there's a full moon happening, the moon might be in Aries, the moon might be in Taurus. That means something very specific. If the moon's in a fire sign, people are fiery, which means people are angry. People have short fuses, they get angry quick, and they just can't settle. If the moon is in Virgo, sometimes you just feel like you just want to clean or just want to organize. You just need to get stuff done, right? So when you're paying attention, it's no joke. If the moon's in a water sign, like Cancer or Scorpio, just, you don't know why you're crying. Like, why am I so sensitive? That someone said that to me, or someone else says that to me, or whatever, and nothing to do with it. It just could be where the moon is tonight. And even based on your own chart, your astrology chart, those planets were somewhere specific. There are some women that they go, I'm a crier. I don't understand. I go, I look at their chart. There's nothing wrong with you. You were born with so many planets in water. You're always going to be crying, right? And then there's some people that can't connect to their emotions. They have to sit. That's me, right? So there's nothing wrong with you. The beauty of astrology is that it validates. So each week I create these little short videos that are from 4 to 6 minutes that goes out across my social media. And it even goes out to my local TV station here in Canada on Rogers TV. And it goes out in my community and all across Northern Ontario, all the major cities, they pick up these videos and it explains what's currently happening in the astrological sky. And I can predict what we might be all feeling on an emotional level. And then I recommend in my teacup which food or which herbal plant to use to make a tea each week to balance your feelings. And I offer a simple action step to help you stop from feeling stuck so that you can use this information to balance those elements, fire, earth, air, or water, right? And each week I'll say, this is a predominantly element this week. So if you'd like to watch my free videos, then I'm going to encourage you to stay until the end and then click on the link that Katya is going to put down at the end to peek through this 4-page astrological weekly wellness template that I created just for you. So it's going to be your bonus gift. We'll give it to you at the end. And then inside of the template in the 4 pages, you can see the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and it's called Your Time Matters. Okay, so it's easy. Then you get the notice that the video is up, and then you can watch the videos and you'll receive the astrological insights and wellness tips each week inside the video. Okay, does that make sense? So I'll be like, this week, this is what's happening. This is the tea I'm drinking. This could be an essential oil I'm talking about. It could be something I'm saying like on the new moon, like it's time to connect with yourself. What do you want to create in the next 6 months? What are you going to start taking action on, right? So not only will this help you save time and money by not having to buy all the books and study and figure it out by yourself, right? I've already done it. And most of the time, I'm using items that might already be inside your kitchen because most people don't know the healing properties of foods and plant medicine because that's what I studied in school, right? That's why I'm encouraging you to use the organic teas and some of the simple things. Now, how awesome is that, right? And additionally, on that front page, I've also written out a basic template for you that you can print out yourself or just use it as a guide to connect with what's currently happening in astrology, right? Just make some notes, what foods or herbs I'm talking about. And there's that spot also on what action step I'm going to recommend that you do. And again, the link will be posted at the very end. So just stay tuned. We're just about to close off. Okay, so I'm just going to take another sip of water, because some of you might be thinking about how you can learn even more specific holistic action steps that are based on your unique astrological birth chart, because today's training is just a sneak peek at how astrology can be used as the template for our health and our wellness by using the 4 elements. And inside of my 90-day astrological wellness coaching program, I will study each specific element of your unique astrological birth chart to offer even more detailed information on how you can stay balanced by uncovering exact details about which specific holistic and natural solutions are best for you. Because even everybody's birth chart, depending on where those planets are, even also represents more specific information. So it goes deeper into your chart. So if you fall down, you'll know how to bounce back up, right? What you can use to make yourself feeling better. And so much more we uncover during this 90-day program. And as we go deeper, you'll learn from an astrological perspective how to manage your emotional and physical well-being, even more specifically to your unique chart, which again is different for everyone. So who'd want to know more about what's truly best for all levels, right? Yeah, of their body to get the results that you're seeking by understanding more about your own chart, including other planetary placements and a deeper understanding of those 4 elements that we discussed, because we go deep, right? On the coaching calls, you start learning about your chart. So ladies, if you'd be willing to just take a couple of seconds right now and just reflect on one little takeaway or just an aha moment just from our time together, right? Was there anything that you learned or you didn't know, or just something that you're going to walk away with? Anyone willing to share? Kelly's smiling. I see Amber's thinking about it, right? So just honor that in yourself. If you don't want to share, that's fine. But just honor, what is you're going to walk away. And I want to thank you all for your vulnerability and your time tonight and for playing full on. Because if you've been paying close attention, you've likely just seen how powerful astrology actually is. And right now, we are living through a profound global transformation, which is the age of Aquarius. Remember that song? Age of Aquarius, right? As an astrologer, I understand Aquarius represents the collective rising together in support of one another. And we're experiencing the fall of those patriarchal systems, dismantling all that outdated stuff so that we can rise together from the ashes. So there's a reason why these things are coming apart. And we're witnessing the shifts in world politics, healthcare, and education. And the time to embrace woo-woo is now, especially astrology, holistic health solutions, and the recognition that we are multidimensional beings. We're not just physical. True emotional health and wellness requires balance across our mind, our body, and our spirit. And many of my past clients are truly amazed at how I've created a simple and easy to use astrological framework for each of them to keep them organized on a daily basis so that they're able to balance all 4 of those elements over time and feel more confident, happier, and tapping into the amazing wisdom of astrology. And I would just love to quickly share the story of my previous client who was already fascinated with astrology. Her name is Maggie, a 55-year-old woman feeling down and out. She was a senior executive who lost her job following a claim of harassment. She came to me feeling anxious, fearful, and really depressed. She had lost all of her self-confidence, her self-esteem, and her power. She felt victimized and angry by the injustice of what just happened to her and how it made her feel on a personal level. And after hiring me, within a few days already, she was beginning to feel much better, and her destructive feelings were being replaced with calm, positivity, and optimism because she used specific items that I recommended for her as I created her unique astrological wellness kit. Got shipped to her. And when I studied her chart, I validated what she was feeling because it was being triggered by an astrological event. And I told her she wasn't crazy. There was a scientific and a logical explanation. And she became even more fascinated with astrology. So together, we created a wellness plan using her astrological chart as her unique framework. And Maggie began to implement more small yet consistent daily steps that we discussed in the live coaching sessions. And over the next 3 months, we uncovered more information from her chart so she could take action towards what would truly allow her to feel validated and happy. Because that is a signature, an indication in the chart. And she now has a career in a completely different lifestyle that she absolutely loves. And that big shift that she experienced was offering her a moment of personal transformation, right? Like planets were happening. It's like your life is going to go in a new direction. She loved attending the astrological educational experiences inside of our community, and she found more clarity and empowerment as she began to pay more attention to what's always happening in the sky. She watches my videos every week. Tamron says, do this, I'm going to do that. So she's now prepared for life in case she's going to go through any other emotional challenges because she knows what to do, whether it's ongoing or even for preventative measures. So ladies, imagine having a mentor who not only understands your astrological blueprint, but I can translate it into a practical, easy to follow wellness plan for you. And my expertise and guidance will help you maintain the emotional balance along with understanding which element really needs to be implemented right away. So we get that out of your chart. And as a double Capricorn and a natural born leader, I'm fully committed to helping women unlock a holistic, vibrant lifestyle that aligns with their soul's journey. And I understand that investing in a mentorship program can bring up concerns about time and money. However, the empowerment and the transformation you gain are immeasurable, and this will change your life forever. I provide ongoing support in a way that respects your time, ensuring that every moment you invest brings you closer to the balanced, healthy life that you deserve. And I know I will save you both time and money because there's no more guessing. The answers are already written in your unique astrological birth chart, and I'm able to interpret the information just for you. So remember, this free masterclass is just a quick overview of how I support my clients. And during my 90-day astrological wellness program, I go much deeper into each client's chart to provide those exact recommendations so that you begin to feel better right away during our coaching sessions together. And each client receives their own astrological wellness kit that is shipped directly to them. And each month we focus on implementing a new wellness action step. So by the end of the program together, you guys have everything you need along with simple templates to follow along. No matter if life ever gets you down again during another challenging time in the future, you have all of the tools available to you. So Katya is going to put a link down below. Tonight, I'm offering a free 30-minute astrological wellness breakthrough session so that we can review your current elemental challenge that you intuitively picked on tonight. And we're going to review your current lifestyle choices to determine where you can begin to get started so you can start to feel better right away and start getting some results. And also on the 30 minutes together, we're going to see if it's a great fit to work together. If you want to continue working with me, we will discuss that. And I'll give you more information about the details of my program. And you can have the opportunity to ask me any questions as well. So Katya has put that in. I'm going to encourage you to click on that link in that chat because spots are extremely limited. And also, you will receive a follow-up email from me within the next 48 hours. Keep an eye on your inbox. It's going to come from my business email. It's not going to come through Eventbrite. So it's Inner Lights Academy. You'll see that. I'll be sending you follow-up emails. And if you look in my calendar and you notice that there's no times that are convenient for you, you'll be able to reply to that email, and I'll open up a time in my calendar and you can let me know what's going to be more convenient. Does that make sense? Yeah, because I only book so many spots that are available. And if it doesn't work, we'll figure out a time. Okay. And I want to remind all of you that you deserve the clarity and you deserve the happiness and the fulfillment that aligns with your soul. You'll only need your exact date and birthplace. You don't need the time to work with me. Okay. So I'm going to encourage you to get on my calendar. And remember, there's a reason you're still here and you're meant to hear this, because as an astrologer, I believe in destiny, right? And I'm here to take a stand for women just like you who are open-minded and willing to take action that's outside the box. I feel like I'm a lighthouse shining a light through the darkness in the women's wellness industry. And I would love to work with you to help you go deeper and to find these true answers. And spots are limited. Again, only open for about 3 more days. And your journey to a happier, healthier, balanced life that starts with just taking that one step to click to be on the call with me. And as your little gift for all of you amazing women who stayed until the end, Katia will put the link for the bonus gift, which is the 4-page PDF. It was created in Canva, and it's got some additional information in there. It has my, oh, hold on here. It has my link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And the direct link is for the playlist called Your Time Matters. So that means you'll be able to start watching the videos every week. But if you subscribe, and you click on the bell, you'll get the notification that the video is up, or it might even go to your email. It just depends on how you sign up. And then you can start implementing some of these little action steps that I recommend. And I do keep it very simple, but also what starts happening is a lot of women start noticing, oh, whenever it's a full moon, Tamron always recommends this. When it's a new moon, she always says this, right? Or an eclipse. Or another great one, Mercury retrograde. How many women in the room have ever heard something called Mercury retrograde? Right? Have you ever heard of that? So, and depending on your chart, where Mercury was the day you were born is an indication of whether you're going to benefit when Mercury's in retrograde, or you're going to feel like you're going bonkers. And that's a secret piece of information. Yeah. People are saying, yeah, it's true. Right? So again, in my weekly videos, I love talking about Mercury retrograde. So the next one's coming up in November. So ladies, you got to follow me. My links to my other social media are also in that page. You can follow me on my personal page in Facebook. You can follow me on my personal Instagram. And I give you guys little things to do. So there's going to be another 28-day challenge that I'll be doing for Mercury retrograde coming up in November. And I'm going to guide you guys through it. And some women get profound healing during a Mercury retrograde. All right. Because Mercury represents how our intellectual mind communicates, how we express what's on our mind. Okay. So it's what we say, it's what we write. It could be what we're texting, could be how we're responding to somebody. And depending on where Mercury is, what element he's in, it's an indication of how our mind is going to be and how we're expressing. So I guide you guys through it so that you don't go crazy. So all that information will be in the weekly emails. It'll be on my social media. So that'll be coming up in November. But I'm always guiding you guys. And women, they're like, okay, I get this now, because that's where you get your power. That's where you start to realize that we are more than just the physical body. we're connected to what's actually happening in the astrological sky, and it can support you and help you, especially if you have kids, especially if you have partners. You'll be like, oh, okay, so there is some truth to this. Does that make sense? Yeah, like it's no joke. And astrology, like I said in the class, and holistic health is going to become mainstream, very mainstream, because we're now in the age of Aquarius. So those are going to be some big components. So you ladies are going to be ahead of the game, understanding how to implement this into your daily lives. Does anybody have any more questions now that we're done? Are we good? Yes. Raise your hand. Who's taking action? Woohoo! Did you ladies have fun? Thank you. You're welcome. Thanks, Missy. Thanks for joining. Yeah, that's great. Thank you for coming.